Hello and welcome to the Ferret Business Podcast. I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, aka Yemmy, aka DJ Yemmy. And today I have with me a Let's Player who plays a multitude of games. One of his newest series is Adrift, and he also plays games like Infamous, and Jak and Daxter, and Far Cry, and Super Hot, and VR games, and whoo, he's everywhere. But hey, don't let me blow smoke up his ass. His links will be down below so you can check him out yourself, Twitter and YouTube. Terra Knight, how are you today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. How have you been?
Not too bad, not too bad. I know that you were sick last week,
Yes.
which is no fun, and I think I was sick 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I just know how debilitating that can be to a YouTube channel, because if you don't have things prepped and ready to go, like, you're like out for however long you have the sickness.
Sure, man. It can be. Luckily I had a couple of things ready and waiting like to get up, but it definitely put recording on hold for like the whole of the last week and stuff. So it has been a bit of a problem, but I'm not feeling too bad now, and I finally started getting some more stuff recorded today, and it just feels so much better to actually have some stuff go in instead of feeling like you're not really getting anything done.
Yeah, definitely. That's good. It's good that you're feeling better. We're happy that you're alive and well, and getting back up on your feet and getting back out there recording videos.
I was worried I jinxed it yesterday because I did say kind of like, it can't really get any worse than this. So, and I've said it again now, so hopefully it doesn't.
It's just that's a challenge to any higher power. They go, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like in most video games when this has been pretty easy, no monsters turning up so far, and then a massive boss turns up, and you're like, well, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. So many people go into games like Dark Souls or something like that, and they're like, oh, this first area is easy. That first boss was easy, and then, well.
And then never play the game again.
Right, yeah. Then that all the trophy statistics are like 0.1% because everyone stopped playing the game.
Yeah. I had a hell of a challenge on Dark Souls. Those games are, they have their name for a reason.
Definitely.
Well, anyway, if I believe you have some questions for me, or
yeah. So I was wondering. First off, on your Twitter, it said that you had to change your name back to Terra Knight. What had happened there for a little while? Did you change names, or?
Well, no. Basically, a few months ago, I was like away for a couple of days, and I didn't have like my recording equipment with me. So I was trying to sort out some of my email stuff, so that if I wanted to try and like email certain people, it would have been like my real name. So that it was a bit more professional. And like I was a bit new to everything, and I ended up changing my name, and then on my email it changed it. Obviously it's the Google account, and it changed it for everything.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't click on, and I changed it, and you're meant to get free changes. Mm-hmm. Like every 3 months or something. And from what I could tell, because I had a different name before I changed my name to Terra Knight originally, and then when I changed it to Terra Knight, I assumed that was the first change of my 3 months. Mm-hmm. And then when I changed my name again on accident, like when it changed it for everything, I was like, oh, okay, this is only the second time I've changed it, so it's not gonna be a problem, I'll just change it back. But then I went to change it back, and it was like, oh, you've used all 3 of your changes, so you're going to have to wait 3 months before you can change it back.
Oh my goodness.
And I tried to sort it out by like emailing YouTube and stuff, but all I got back from YouTube was saying that I couldn't I couldn't email and like confer with them basically about this problem because I didn't have the 4,000 watch hours and the 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, so I was quite annoyed about that, and I had to wait 3 months to change my name back.
Oh, man, that's so dumb how they did that to you. It's like it doesn't. I don't think it should matter how far along you are on your YouTube journey.
No,
everyone
should get help.
Right? Yeah.
I made a stupid mistake for sure, but I didn't mean to, and like it would have been easy for them to just I don't know, allow me to change, I don't know, refresh my my 3 months thing so that I could change my name or something. But yeah, I just had to wait 3 months. I didn't really get any answer back from YouTube after that about anything I could do.
Oh, man.
So, I had to make sure that people knew what was going on as well, because I didn't want like people not to be able to find my channel, or because it's gone from Terra Knight to like it was my real name. And that was a whole issue as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's not that like I'm not saying about, well, everyone likes to have their bit of trying to say anonymity, or God, yeah, trying to be anonymous.
yeah, their privacy. They I think everyone values their privacy.
I should have probably tried to pick an easier word instead of trying to go for the hardest one.
That's all right. I have trouble saying that one too. Anonymity. You're not alone. You're not alone.
Yeah, it's like watching Finding Nemo all over again.
Enemy. So yeah, I would if my real name was out there. I'm sure, as I say to a lot of people, if it gets to that point where I am garnering a lot of subscribers and people are watching my content, I know eventually something's gonna happen where they get my real picture, they get my real name. I mean, it's just something that happens. But having that happen so early, that's like, it's so nerve-wracking that like.
Yeah, it's it's thing. It's like because anyone could just quickly like do a quick search on whatever, Facebook or whatever, and try and find the right one or whatever. And it's like, I'm not too bothered about that, but it's still a bit thing. Like at the minute, I'm just doing this to try and help build my confidence a bit, and it's not going to help if like somebody's like all right, my say enter real name here.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, well, I don't want people to be calling me that. I want to be known as Terra Knight
right
here, at least for now. I want to build that kind of thing.
So where did the name Terra Knight come from?
Well, I was thinking about it for like a good couple of weeks, because I had my old name, which was just there wasn't anything special. It was like a mixture of my real name with like some other stuff, and I knew that I had to change it. So I wanted to kind of try and think of something like a bit unique and stuff, and I did search around the like internet and stuff and YouTube, trying to make sure that there weren't any.
Mm-hmm.
When I first searched, I didn't really find any, but I have actually found another Terra Knight on YouTube, just like lowercase spelling. But it was basically, I wanted something that was like, I like history and stuff like that, and warriors and stuff, and that's a lot of the type of games I enjoy as well. So I thought like a knight or something would be good, but I also wanted it to kind of be sort of somehow related to gaming as well.
Mm-hmm.
And originally I was going for I think it was going to be like Killer Knight, because I was going for like the whole kilobyte.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I was like, but I've got a lot more options here, because there's kilobyte, there's megabyte, and there's terabyte. So I was like, Terra Knight. That that sounds kind of good.
Yeah, that's clever.
Kind of flows off the tongue. So I was quite happy with that as well. But then someone did help me realize that actually, if you like kind of reverse it, it's like Night Terror. And I was like, oh, that's quite interesting as well. Like, it's, I don't know, this thing, like, I have like suffered from night terrors before in my life, so it's like maybe it was like a subliminal thing.
That's
where like I didn't even realize, and then it ended
Yeah.
up reversing. So yeah, I thought that was quite a thing as well. Bit interesting.
So night terrors, were these like a nightly experience, or was it just like every once a week, or?
Well,
because I've never like really.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's the thing, like I'll like wake up in the morning or whatever, and then I'll just be told by my girlfriend, oh yeah, you had another night terror last night. And it's like, oh, did I? And it's like thing, just like kind of just like waking up, and you kind of like you're not sure what's going on or whatever. You're still kind of like, I suppose it's kind of like having a nightmare, but it's like, you know, you wake up and you kind of, I don't know. I should probably look into it more because I have suffered with it, but it's just, I get told by my girlfriend that I'm like, you know, waking up and you're freaking out kind of thing. I'm not really gonna get into like a lot of it, but
that's fine.
You know, it's thing, like it hasn't really been happening for a while, so I've just been like just trying to be like calm and stuff.
Yeah, I get told by my fiance all the time that I did something weird in the night. Like, there's one time I woke up and I don't know what I was dreaming of, but I was just like, we gotta save you from the worms, and I started to get up, and then I woke up because I remember kind of waking up and I was turning on the light, and I was like, whoa, where am I? And I just kind of turned it off, went back to bed. There was another time that I remember this pretty vividly. I was like half awake, and I saw a cat run under the bed. And we have a dog.
What?
And I would not have thought that the dog would stay asleep for a cat running the bed. But I got up. I was like, oh my god, there's a fucking cat. And I turned on the lights. I looked underneath the bed, and there was nothing there. And
man, that would freak me out. Like.
It was really weird.
So, sorry, I'm not like 100% sure what causes like stuff like night terrors and stuff, but I think it's just like kind of like stress and stuff. And then maybe it's the same with like other things in the night, like, you know, I'm not sure, you know, you say you saw a cat, and it's like people say it could be like the trick of the light or some shit like that.
Right.
And it's like, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe there was a cat there 50 years
I don't
ago.
know.
The ghost of a cat.
Ghost of a cat. I don't really know where I was about to go with that. I kind of lost track. So,
that's all right. So we can move on then. You aim to upload 2 videos daily, and you use the PlayStation Share Factory to edit your videos and put them together. I've been using that for putting together my montages. Are you ever planning on moving past the Share Factory and using like Adobe Premiere or something like that, or are you gonna stick with Share Factory for now and see how it goes?
Yeah, for sure. Like I've got my laptop and everything now. So when I first started, I didn't really have a computer or anything. So I was just recording on the PlayStation and then editing it all in there. But now I've got my laptop, I definitely plan to start recording some stuff on here, and then either learning how to use the editing software on the computer, or like if I can just transfer it onto my PlayStation. If I end up being no good on the editing software on there, then I'll just chuck it over and do it on the PlayStation.
Yeah, that Share Factory is really nice. I think they did a really good job at making it pretty easy to use, and they have a bunch of stuff that you can use in it. I mean, it works well. You know, it's not like you should look down at anyone who uses Share Factory. You know.
No. I think they've done a really good job in implementing the whole being able to be a creator even if you can't afford to have a custom-made PC or anything like that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And having to be able to afford, like, you know, because a lot of the games nowadays, if you have it on computer, you've got to have like a really expensive graphics card and, you know, all of the right stuff to be able to run the game. But like consoles, they'll run the game, you know, no matter what, because, you know, they're made to run them. If you kind of get what I mean.
Yeah, I get. Yeah. Do you have a PlayStation Pro or a regular PlayStation?
I've got a PlayStation Slim. I do.
Oh, a Slim.
It's, yeah, I had a PlayStation. I had a base PlayStation at first, but it did end up dying on me. So then I ended up getting it fixed, and I gave it to my brother and bought myself a new one.
Oh, there you go. Upgraded. Yeah, mine's been ejecting discs on me while I'm playing games, and it's starting to kind of tick me off, and nothing online has been working, so I might have to, on Black Friday, that magical holiday, I might have to go out and buy a new one.
Oh, yeah, it is a thing. That was a bit of a problem I had with one of mine before, where it was just like either not taking discs, or you would put the disc in and it would just keep ejecting it out. But I'm not sure like what that was. I just took it in and got it fixed, because obviously I'm not going to take apart my own PlayStation, but somebody who knows what they're doing, I'll trust them to do it.
Right, yeah. So one of the newest ones that I mentioned earlier, the newest Let's Plays on your channel, is the Adrift Let's Play. And this is a game that I found really, really interesting, and I just wanted to get your opinion on the game.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, it is like, it's basically, it's like a set in space. It's a survival game where you basically you wake up and you're adrift in space. There's been a massive accident on the space station that you've been on, doing these tests and stuff for the future of like space travel and finding new planets for you to be able to sustain life on.
Man, I love that kind of stuff.
It is absolutely amazing. And you basically, you have to go around. You've only got a certain amount of oxygen, so you've got to make sure you're always picking up oxygen tanks that are like left around like from the explosion. And you start to explore the space station, and you can explore like every inch of it, finding like your lost crew members, reading emails and stuff to find out like what's happened in the weeks prior to the accident. And the main objective really is to fix the main subsystems so that you can use an escape pod to get home.
That's pretty intense.
It is. It's like, it's it's one of those games where you just explore, and it's got its story, but it doesn't like chuck you into anything and be like, oh, you've got to do this, you got to do this. It's like, you've got your objective from the start. It's fix the space station and get home, and then the side thing is you can explore and read everything to find out what happened.
Yeah, that's cool. It sounds real interesting. I think I played like the first 15 minutes in a demo or something like that, and I was like, this is pretty cool. I like the more sci-fi adventure games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
they are a lot of them are very enjoyable, and it's a game that I hadn't really heard much about.
Same here, yeah.
And I was quite surprised, and I found it on a PlayStation sale. It was like about £10. And I was like, this game looks really interesting. And like I bought it, and then I got on it, and I was just like, oh my, like the graphics were insane. I thought that like for what I paid, it was like one of the best games I have played in a long time.
Wow.
There were a lot of like other things you could do as well. Like after you finished the game, it opened up a whole mode, so you can just go out and you have unlimited oxygen, and you can just go out and explore space and the rest of the space station as much as you want without having to worry about going around and picking up the oxygen tanks. You can just go and explore to your heart's content, kind of thing.
That's really
I thought
cool.
that was it was a really nice touch.
I love it when developers put stuff in like that, where it's like, you beat the game and now we're going to give you this extra special mode where you can do pretty much anything you want.
Yeah, exactly. It was great, like just being able to just go out and like, because trying to explore, like there was a moment where I was going to fly out to like just try and go out as far as I could, but it was just like, it takes so long when you're traveling around, because you're in space. You can't really tell if you're moving that much at all, and like there's certain specific routes that you have to take through like the broken debris so that you can collect oxygen and everything. And like that's the only time you can really tell if you're moving, is if you're near like some debris and you're like, okay, I'm moving past that debris. Because when you get out into like the middle of it, it's just like, am I moving? And you're pushing it forward for like 5 minutes, and then like, oh yeah, I am slowly, but it's just such a massive area that you get to explore. It's insane.
Yeah. Speaking of games, E3 has come and gone, of course, a little while ago now.
Oh, yes.
Was there any game that you were expecting to see that didn't show up on any of the showings?
I was quite surprised with PlayStation. I was pleasant. I was happy with what they showed. They had some nice performances and stuff and showed off the games. But I was expecting, Red Dead Redemption 2 for sure.
Yeah, really, right, yeah.
I was expecting something from that, even if it was on Xbox or or PlayStation. One of them, I thought they were going to show it off, because I definitely think it's going to be one of the biggest games this year. Like when it comes out, because I remember the first Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely loved that game.
Me too.
The online mode was great fun, just being able to have a gang of your friends and being able to go across America or Mexico and just doing all of these different there was the mines you could go into and steal all the gold or whatever was in there. It was great fun, and honestly, I was quite surprised that there was nothing to show, seeing as they have promised that it's not going to be delayed again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the game's not going to be delayed again, but we have nothing to show you at the biggest gaming conference of the year.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, but hopefully, I have my my $5 on at GameStop. Hopefully, it doesn't get backtracked. I was really hoping to see a Borderlands 3 or anything like that. I've been missing Borderlands for a while. Borderlands has been one of my favorite games that I've ever had to play. It was just when the first one came out, it was just this amazing new type of game where, because we've had the RPG sort of thing where you go around the world, and it's usually made by Bethesda. Yeah.
And then there was just this completely new one that came out, and it was just what is this? And then it had this rich backstory with ancient alien artifacts and everything, and I'm a sucker for stuff like that. The Assassin's Creed games have me in it with their Pieces of Eden and just the history of it, and Borderlands, they had me in it with all of the artifacts and everything, and the vault, going on this massive journey to find the vault. And after I watched Jacksepticeye play through the it was the Telltale people, the guys who make the Telltale games.
The Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah, I watched Jacksepticeye play through that one, and the end of that, when they spoilers if you haven't seen that, the end of it. I
played through the whole thing. Yeah.
Is when they step through the portal or whatever, and they go. And they're inside they're in a different universe, or they're inside the vault or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was okay, now I'm ready for Borderlands 3. They can, they've got so much stuff they can throw out and use to make a bit bigger game, and even different worlds and stuff now. And I was very surprised that I didn't hear anything about that since what was it, maybe last year they showed off a little snippet of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what time, but it seems like it was forever ago now.
Oh, I know it was.
And
it's been a while.
When I was playing the end of that game, I was I was talking to my friend, and I'm oh, they're gonna make Borderlands 3 be these characters. They're setting up all these characters, and it's just gonna be whatever four characters they decide to pull out of that game. And then it actually had an ending to it, and I was oh, I thought it was gonna end right after whatever.
Yeah, that's what confused me, and it's Borderlands 2, they did that with that as well, near enough the end, the ship goes down into a pool of lava, and you're what
Yeah.
Did Mordecai and Brick just die in that fucking ship, not even getting a cool ending kind of thing? And then they turn up right at the end of the game after you beat the boss, and you're oh, thank God.
Yeah. Oh, man. Brick and Mordecai, awesome characters.
Oh, I know, it's such a good duo. It was always the team I'd play as. Me and my brother. I'd be Mordecai, my brother would be Brick. We just go around destroying everything.
Yeah.
So much fun.
What'd you think of the pre-sequel game? Did you ever play that one?
I played it. I never finished it. That's like it was thing. Like when I first got it, I was really like I was like, yeah, this is gonna be cool. It's set in between the two movies, the two games, and yeah, it was like I don't know what it was. It's just like they were kind of trying to like give Handsome Jack more of a backstory because everyone loved him so much.
Yeah.
And it's the same with what they did with the Tales from the Borderlands because they continued Handsome Jack's story again.
Yeah.
And I felt that maybe they were milking Handsome Jack a bit too much.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he had some sort of cameo or something in the third game, just to like maybe even like a picture or an old destroyed statue or something like that. I would.
Or his
I would be
mask
surprised.
hanging up on a wall somewhere. As soon
Yeah.
as you get it, you're killing him. Like.
So, what games are you most excited? Last thing for today, I should say. What games are you most excited for from E3 and that are either coming out this year or next year or question mark? You know how it is.
That's probably my favorite question. It's always my favorite question. Is something about new games. Oh man, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is definitely one of my like top anticipated games.
Oh yeah, me too.
Been waiting for a new Spider-Man game for so long, and it's like I've seen it. Everyone's been doing the whole thing, trying to like be like, is it going to be any good? Is it going to be as good as Spider-Man 2 with the Spider-Man like the swinging and everything?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I just like I was disappointed when I found out that it wasn't an R2 and L2 system for swinging with your right hand and swinging with your left hand, but I can deal with that.
Yeah.
As long as it's like, you know, the rest of the game looks absolutely amazing, so that for sure. And Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to that, even though a lot of people have been going like, you know, it's not an Assassin's Creed game because there's no assassins in it.
You know,
because
people are so peculiar about their Assassin's Creed games. It's like it's a fun game to play. I loved Origins. Like they redid the whole system.
Yeah.
It was a great
Absolutely
breath of fresh air. I can't wait for this one because it looks like there's going to be like, you know, it's the Odyssey. It's the Greeks.
Yes, it's honestly, man. I think this one is going to like. Origins was the origin of the assassins.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that everyone's going off. It's like Odyssey is set 400 years before Assassin's Creed Origins. So they're like, it's not Assassin's Creed because there's not going to be assassins in it because they weren't formed. But from what I've read on the internet, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is going to be the origins of the Pieces of Eden.
Oh.
So
that's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, they've had this whole like, you know, backstory given in, you know, the original games. I loved them. You know, most people were like, they didn't like the future bits. They didn't like, you know, Desmond and stuff like that. I loved all of it. You know, I loved the going back to the future and, you know, exploring with like the Eagle Vision and finding all the secrets and trying to learn the secret story that they're making. And now, like with Odyssey, and they're going to go back and explore like the origin of like, well, maybe not the origin of the Pieces of Eden, but they're going to explore the Pieces of Eden in depth.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact that Leonidas' spear that you have instead of your hidden blade is a Piece of Eden. So you get to upgrade that throughout the game as you play it. And, you know, you're going to be able, that grants you special powers, and that's how you can do like the Spartan kick and all of that special stuff because it's a Piece of Eden. And you're meant to get a lot more throughout the game. So you might get like, I don't know, maybe you'll just see more Pieces of Eden, maybe you'll get more Piece of Eden equipment or something. That would be pretty badass.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't go the route of like Unity, you know. Hopefully it's a solid sequel to Origins, you know. Is there a point, like, do you like all the Assassin's Creed games, or is there, you know, like Unity for me is where I still love the series. Like Syndicate was fine. It's just Unity was like, oh my god, why'd they release this instead of putting more work in the Rogue? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I've not had any problems, like, major problems with the games. I remember when Unity came out and everyone was like they were going mad about all of the glitches and everything that they were experiencing, and how the game was like, because it was so buggy because they rushed it to release and stuff. But when I played through the game, I think I only experienced one bug that like annoyed me, which was like, I think I got stuck somewhere and I had to restart the mission from scratch kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like really annoyed, but I didn't get any of like the massive bugs where the people's faces would disappear and it was just eyes and a mouth.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any problem with that. And I actually, I had a bit of problems with like the whole thing where like Arno was going, like, because there was like glitches in the Animus or whatever. He was in World War II France, and then he was in like fucking I don't know,
the industrial.
Yeah, he was it was in different eras, and it was like, yeah, this, if you're gonna do something like this, just do a whole game on it.
Right. Yeah.
Don't throw like a load of stuff out and being like, oh, okay, are we going to get to see any more of this? And it's like, oh, okay, no, I'm only going to get to see this one mission of it, so I'm going to spend like an hour just running around, so that I can actually like look around and look at all of the stuff they've done instead of just because it's a bit thing when you get a new place to explore, and then it's like, oh no, you've just got to go do this one mission, and then you're back to old time France.
One last question I just thought of in my head. So you played Syndicate, right? Like Assassin's Creed Syndicate?
Oh yes, of course.
Is it pretty close to the London layout today, or is it different?
I've only been to London a couple of times. But like I was running around, and I've like gone on to like Google and everything to like have a good look at it, and I was like quite surprised at how good it looked. It was like obviously the Big Ben is like a place that everybody kind of knows.
Right.
It's like the clock tower and everything. What a lot of people don't know is that Big Ben is actually just the bell that's inside.
Yeah.
The actual tower's called something else.
Uh-huh.
Can't remember what it's called though.
Not even a Brit can tell us.
No. I'm not a very good Brit. I couldn't tell you the fucking name of the tower or anything, but yeah, it's it did look great. Like I was like running around, and that's like the thing you kind of wait for when you have a game like that. People always being like, I'd love a GTA London or stuff like that. But like when Assassin's Creed Syndicate was announced, and they were like, you're going to be going around Industrial Revolution London, I was like, what? Hold the phone, like. And yeah, it was definitely one of my favorite games that I've played. Like, I'm pretty sure I completed it 100%. I got nearly every single achievement. I'm gonna have to double check that when I get off now, because I was like, with Assassin's Creed, I would always want to like try and get everything. I think the only time I did it was I think I did it in Assassin's Creed 2, got all the achievements, and then I almost did it in Origins.
Oh yeah.
Then they added all the DLC in then, so it was like so many more achievements. Oh well, not even achievements, trophies.
Yeah, they're all the same.
I know. I just feel like a traitor when I say achievement, and I've got a PlayStation, so it's a trophy.
Right. Yeah, I'm on Steam a lot and PlayStation, so I get them mixed up all the time. So
that's fair.
I
had Xbox for like, Xbox is the one I had the longest.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it was thing like I had like fucking, I swear I had like 50,000 gamer points on that from getting achievements.
Yeah.
And I like went through them all, and I was like I was like, if I bought each one of these games for like £40 or whatever, I was like going through it and doing the math of how much money I've spent on games. I was just, oh my god.
That's not something you want to do. It's like people who have lottery tickets and they're like, I bought 20 lottery tickets for $50
Life well
each.
Spent.
All right, well, that is all the time I have today with Terra Knight. Like I said, all of his links will be down below in the description, so that's YouTube and Twitter. Make sure you check him out. He's a cool dude, as you may have heard. Terra, is there anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Just thanks for having me on the show, and I appreciate everyone tuning in, and Yemmy's a great guy, so make sure you check out lots more of his content and stuff, and I hope to see you guys over at my channel sometime.
Alrighty, well, I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, and this has been another episode of the Ferret Business Podcast.